Hello and welcome to Talkin Jake, a very special edition. It's December 15th. Wow. Get your holiday shopping done. Maybe at JM/Line. Just popped up on the bottom. How do you like that? We are going to talk some baseball. MLB managers survey from the winter meetings, which leads into a couple anecdotal tangents of different conversations. Me and Jimmy went to the MLB office on Friday when he talked a couple of these topics with important people at MLB. Watch out. And yeah, it's always funny to get the skipper's perspective on it. There's a couple rule change things. You guys know where I've been on that. And just some baseball yuck off-season talk. I did get sucked into a bit of a football Sunday. Phillip Rivers had a lot of fun with that. More fun than I expected. And what was the other thing? Oh, NBA Cup, Knicks. Are you watching? If not, you're missing it. Knicks Spurs tomorrow night. I'm excited.
I'll be watching.
I forget if I said this, or no, I didn't say this last episode because this happened on Saturday. So that's how that works. One of the doormen of my building, with a lot of good sports chatter down there, fellas. Right out of what I wanted as a young youth watching movies or TV growing up. A lot of, did you see that? Josh Allen, Knicks game. One of the guys, I hit him with, I was like, Knicks Cup, do we care? And he goes, listen, I've watched a lot of Knicks basketball. He's like, I haven't watched a lot of Knicks games that matter for anything. We want the cup. So we want the cup. The cup runs through New York City in Las Vegas. So we'll get ready for that. That'll be towards the back half. Because like I mentioned, MLB manager survey. I guess there's some signings and stuff I could touch on. We did a lot of it on Talkin Baseball. You guys know I don't like to just kind of straight double up on that. I guess the two things that I'm on a big rant on, of the pitchers that signed, I guess here's Jake's fun facts from the day. Merrill Kelly throws 84% of his pitches between 88 and 92 miles per hour. He's still finding a way to get outs in this league. Kenley Jansen throws one pitch 80+% of the time. Fourth career in all-time saves. That should be of note. Had a very nice season last year. ERA in the 2s. I've added him to the list of, hey, if this guy wants to pitch forever, I think he kind of can, which I don't know. Part of his personality tells me yes, because remember, he was a catcher that transitioned to pitching. If you're willing to do that, you love the game. He came to the office, super cool guy, vibes, absolutely.
Good guy.
I think as long as he can throw 90, I think he can get a lot of outs because it's not necessarily about the pitches. It's the mind F that he does to hitters, kind of knowing what pitch you're going to get. And then from there, he can cut it more or less. He can have you expand the zone. Also, the timing. Timing is everything in baseball, and that's the number one thing he messes with between his leg kick, his arm motion, everything he does on the mound, that I don't know why more pitchers don't mess with guys' timings with leg kicks, especially leg kicks. Like, pitchers are taught from high school, like, you should be able to balance on your back leg all day. So I don't know. It's such an easy way to mess with hitters and get outs. Kenley's turned it into one of the best closing careers ever. And then the other guy, Tyler Rogers, signed, which was like, Tyler Rogers has been great. Like, if you follow baseball, you know, the grossest, furthest submarine pitcher in the game we've got right now. He's been consistent. In the past 6 years, he's led in appearances, 4 of them. So at first, I was kind of like, why don't more guys try to do this? And I think the first one is it's hard. I do think the second one is currently pride. I think if you're a pitcher and you've made it to a certain level, to drop down and throw underneath, it's gross. I admit that. I guess the equivalent is free throw shooting underhand. Like every now and then we see someone do it. And unfortunately, it's usually like the worst free throw shooter in the league that is on like literally their last life of free throw shooting. If I wasn't old, I think I'd be screaming about Rick Barry shooting underhanded free throws a lot more. But Tyler Rogers, I guess when I was running through it in my head, I was just like, I don't know, is there a huge injury risk there? This guy's been making the most appearances. So I've got the most appearances from a reliever. I've got a ton of innings, and I've got effective innings. Like, are these not all buzzwords that if it looked any differently, that a front office would be like, this is where we could clean up? So I don't know. I guess I'll be interested to see, mark this down for Talkin Jake 2042. More guys should be trying this. And again, this isn't to knock Tyler Rogers at all, because, again, maybe there's stuff I am missing, although I ran a lot of this past Coach Trev, and he was kind of like, no, like, you're all over it. That, I don't know, seems like a lane, or maybe we need to give pitchers a safer spot to, like, try it. Like, Tyler Rogers didn't get called up till he was 29 with the Rocks, was getting ready to become a firefighter. And he just turned that into a 3-year, $37 million contract. Braves now with Reisel and Bobby Suarez on the back end. That's kind of fun. Traditional 8-9 for you. Anything else I need to give you? Mets, I'll leave that. We did a whole thing on Talking Baseball. I like Jorge Polanco. I'm hoping for Mets fans, their order of operations is just out of sorts, that by the end of this offseason, they're going to feel okay with losing Pete and losing Diaz. Right now, they shouldn't be. They also have a ton of young players on the cusp between their pitchers and Tong and Sproat. I think McLean's off the table. But Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty, Luis Angel Acuna, there's a couple more outfielders in there. Like, the Mets are primed to trade. So, I don't know. We've heard all the trade rumors between Skubal, Ketel Marte, Mackenzie Gore. Like, I think the Mets are primed for a trade. I think they're still primed for a big free agent. The lineup still feels real weird right now. Let's see where the rest of the offseason takes them. Pretty easy to LOL Mets them if you want. And yeah, it's still kind of nuts. No Pete?
Not keeping either guy. I know for a while it was like, yeah, they'll keep one of them, right? And both are gone.
No Pete. Yeah, relievers are, it is what it is. It's also not with Edwin Diaz. I will give the Mets a little leeway for now, because I do think we could be looking at a Mets lineup that starts off Lindor, Soto, player to be mentioned, and that's a pretty good lineup. Let's see what the rest of it looks like. Or are they going to, Stearns, who runs the team, do they think they are the Brewers East, that they're going to let these young guys figure it out on the fly, and that they think they're just going to be kind of the new machine? You need someone behind Juan Soto. I don't care what, I know there's some analytical stuff that says lineup insurance doesn't matter. Well, yeah, because Juan Soto's numbers will still be great if he walks 200 times next year. So let's give Juan a little protection. And again, I won't LOL Mets them yet. Let's see what they've got. Diamondbacks rotation doesn't get me excited. Let's see if that changes. Okay, housekeeping. That's done. Let's get into the MLB managers survey that you can find on ESPN.com. They collected a bunch of questions with a bunch of the managers while they were at winter meetings in Orlando. Wish I would have got brought into the fold on that. Feel like I could have helped. Even my guy Ali Marmal mentioned. Did my own surveys with him. It is brought to you by Fabletics. Today's episode is brought to you by Fabletics. If you like living in the activewear, but you can't always live in the activewear, and that the good stuff starts to cost way too much, that's where Fabletics comes in. I'm wearing Fabletics pants right now. We'll reveal that at the end of this. And it's what you're looking for. If the holidays have snuck up on you and you're scrambling for gifts, go to Fabletics. Sometimes the best gift is to yourself. Fabletics runs amazing deals, especially right now with us. An exclusive offer, 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head to fabletics.com/Bakers. Sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything. This is only available through our link, so go to fabletics.com/Bakers to sign up as a VIP. Get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/Bakers. And I just got another box of Fabletics stuff. I haven't even started cranking it because I was like, whoa, if I add this, I'm adding this to the wardrobe. My wardrobe's kind of at capacity. So to incorporate all of that, I need to do another like elimination island. So I've been delaying that. But you're gonna be seeing Lil Poppy and a lot more Fabletics. Wears really well. I said I was gonna show the pants. I don't know. They're like green. They look.
Those are good.
These are. I mean, hey, look how flexible I am. YouTube's getting a real show. And yeah, these are like I could wear these. I could wear these to a steakhouse.
Yeah. We were doing some outfit stuff earlier. I won't spoil for the people, and I liked the way the pants you had on already worked with it.
They work. Anyways, winter meetings, manager survey. And he burped and he threw up into the mic. Oh, no. We love a manager survey. You get some of the manager personality. Off season, everyone gets to act just a little different because nothing matters. Good to hear from you, Clayton McCullough. Marlins finished higher than the Braves last year. People forget that. And we got a new crop. Craig Albernett. Are they Craig? Are they both Craig? Two new Craig managers, Craig Albernaz and Craig Stammen.
Yeah, two Craigs. The year before, not a lot of manager overturning. This year, yeah, a lot of new managers.
Warren Schaefer manages your Colorado Rockies. Did you know? And yeah, this is a weird mix of the legends. Some good baseball questions in here. We got our guy Lavello. And yeah, again, I have some anecdotes off of all this. I was bummed. Saw Torey Lavello briefly. Good to see him. Good dude. And he said, hey, if I get a second, I'd love to get on the mics with you because all throughout 2023, you kept saying we were going to lose. Okay. Good catching up, Torey. We didn't have time to set up the mics. He's awesome. Awesome human. The first question on our manager survey, if you were commissioner for a day, what is one change you would make to Major League Baseball? Craig Albernaz, Baltimore Orioles, introduce us to yourself. That's a great question. I wouldn't make any change. I love the game the way it is. Come on, Craig. Teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
Come on. Nothing?
And it made the article?
Craig. That started off the article. Yeah, I guess sometimes.
It got me really good.
Sometimes we tastefully critique the article. You think you'd slide that one maybe towards the end. That's the first. Wow. And again, I think this was an art. They don't accredit anyone with the article, BBD, unless I'm missing that, because we do like to give our credit. But I'm guessing this was just a hodgepodge of people.
Everybody who has their connects to try to talk to all 30 managers.
Warren Schaefer. And this leads into one of my best anecdotes. Every Monday off, just like in the minor leagues, every Monday off in Coors, you can go 6-man rotation. You can have a whole day of prep for the next opponent. Every week, you get that rest and maybe filter in off days in between them. So this is interesting. As Warren mentions, they do this in the minor leagues. If you saw the best plan that everyone agrees with for expansion, that was made by my friend Jimmy O'Brien, who operates under the moniker John Boy Online.
Everyone agrees.
John Boy, from the business side, crushed this because baseball just giving away every Monday. There's no need to do that. Just there should be a game on, and there's a way to do that. Jimmy had the AL with Mondays off. He had the NL with Thursdays off. Which, okay, that kind of tilted my head. There's something there. And then even from there, there's some different ways you could go about it. Say it was Monday, or let's say Mondays were off. You could also do maybe there's one game every Monday. and those two teams have that Thursday off or something. Like something you can add to the equation that baseball is available to be watched. There's no reason to take baseball off the calendar for a night. There's some creative businessy ways to go about it. And just the way we use pitching, like a more scheduled off-day routine, I think would be an effective process for teams and players than, when we bring up the calendar for our favorite team and you're like, oh, wow, big off-day month. Or then sometimes else you bring it up and you're like, oh, geez, there are 20 games in 20 days, buckle up. And, of course, there's some rain and weather factors that go into that. But this is something that is being discussed, that my anecdote that you can only get here on Talkin Jake. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Me and Jimmy went to the MLB offices Friday. Nice time. We did the whole replay center. And we actually did it. We got a brief tour last time. They were just like, this is how it happens. We had the guy, the main ump that runs it, cool Italian guy. Should look up his name, but I can label him that way for now. Tony, maybe to get some research on that. He's like the MLB replay ump. Younger than I expected, and he's been doing it from the start, over a decade now. He's like the ump. Some other cool facts you might want to know. They have 2 umpire crews in there for every game night. Kind of nuts. 8 umps are watching the games. Pretty wild. No, I don't think so. Maybe his name's
Google
not.
AI overview.
I can find it. And yet, the setup and the technology is legit. It was fun being in there with Jom, because that's Jom's strength, production meets rules. They do good. There's just some philosophical stuff, like Jimmy coming from cricket. He's like, hey, if it's that close, don't even make a call. Jimmy hates that he said this. He's like, my least favorite words are calling the field stands. It gets tricky because then you're sending it to other umps to make the call. The other thing that's happening in other sports, it was really cool to see it on some college football broadcasts, are just peel back the layers, and they do that in college football. They do that in cricket. That you get the live feed of run it back. Let me see. Okay, can't tell if he's touching it there. Blah blah blah. All right, can you zoom in on that, or do we have another camera angle? That they do that in the replay room. They just don't share it. And the other thing that was pretty interesting, if you remember, there was a Trent Grisham check swing in the Yankees postseason run. If you don't, that's fine. I can verbally walk you through it. It was weird because it wasn't really a check swing, but it looks like he hits the catcher's glove, that it would be a catcher's interference. A weird rule when you think about it, but a necessary rule. Anyways, because he also wasn't swinging, whatever. From the 2 main replays they had that we saw on the broadcast, and it's tough because we're also Yankee fans and you get biased for your team, looks like there's contact with the glove. They had a pretty clear image that wasn't shown on the broadcast of the straight above home plate, kind of the check swing camera. And it looks clear that there's not contact. Again, you could get into some arguments all day. And that was what they had, and that's why it wasn't called a catcher's interference. And I think it's the right call. Seeing that replay, it's really tough to argue against it. And it was funny. They were like, yeah, we sent it to the broadcast. They just never put it on TV. And it's like, well, why don't you just show the people? So I think we'll get there. It's for baseball. It's just a matter, is that going to be 2 years or is that going to be 7 years? But it was an impressive setup. We continue on our tour to go, and we talked to some rules committee people, and they're like, what do you guys got? I said outfield shift. The rules guy we were talking to, potentially thinking of testing my merit, he's like, what, the outfield depth? And we, on Talkin Jake, had just gone through the Jason Stark article where it wasn't the depth. It was mostly the shifting of the outfielders that I was like, I've been in on it. I haven't had the solution. I mentioned the mowing the outfield grass, and he's, again, they're on this. This is their job. that he's like, yeah, we've messed around with that in the minor leagues. We've messed around with like different ways to roll the grass and stuff. He's like, end of the day, when you see that pattern in an outfield, it literally is just like rolled over one way. Like that's how you get that effect. That he's like, how do you monitor that during the game? But I don't know. They heard and they were in on it. We then went from there and we talked to someone pretty high up at MLB. And Jimmy, I was impressed. Like we had already been there for 2.5 hours. We go in and see this guy who's high up at MLB that we have a good relationship with, but like we hadn't had anything planned with him. Like we didn't know if we'd be able to see him. And so we do. Pizza in his office, went for it. I don't know. I was hungry. No need to be proud. Went for it. And so we're yucking and just high level, like, wow, how good was this year? Blah, blah, blah. And then I think Jimmy just went for it, like no segues. Like, hey, any chance you see my expansion video? And the guy was like, no, but what do you got? And Jimmy hit him with the off days and hit him with all of it. So I don't know. We're doing our best here. And I think you're going to see a day where there's something like that implemented that just makes the days off make sense. And I don't know. I think it's a change that if you're that big of a fan, you won't really feel. Like Jimmy mostly wants Monday date nights with his wife, which that's nice. And I support that as well. There is going to be a solution like that coming. Where I don't know if there's a solution coming, they asked Pat Murphy, Brewers manager that keeps pancakes in his pockets. If you were commissioner for a day, what is one thing you would change about MLB? He said shadows. Eliminate shadows. Can't have shadows. Dangerous for players. Kind of true. Can't see the ball. I'm in on it. Or devices to communicate for outfielders so they don't run into each other. I have to admit, the first time I read that, I was like, okay, Pat was on one today. The second time I reread it, I was like, well, we have technology. If we care about player safety, outfield collisions is one of the more dangerous things that, I don't know, I'll throw myself under the bus here for a second. When they first got rid of catcher collisions, I was against it. Again, I was a little younger. What year was that? Research and development on that. That I don't know. I had just grew up with it as part of baseball, and it was kind of like a potential chance for a runner that was dead meat. Which again, I have now, a lot of people don't admit change or when they're wrong. I was wrong. It's ridiculous. Like catchers were getting destroyed. Can't do that. There's no need.
Looks like before the 2014 season, they started saying, let's get that out.
Oh, yeah. I'm just out of college a couple years. I don't know. Baseball purist in me. We did write on that, hey, that's one that I guess where I'm initially like spit out my drink is less technology in baseball, even the cards. Jimmy did drop that me and Rod Carew were on a no paper in baseball plan at one point. That just made me laugh because that was a tweet. But they are united in that. That, hey, if you said what are some of the most dangerous plays that are happening in a game, outfield collisions would be,
especially now that the like sliding ones are out,
pretty high up there. So, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm about it. I think there is something to sports in a difficult environment and being able to make it call and make the play, but I don't know. I hadn't let that one near my head. I didn't think that was on the table. But okay, Pat Murphy, you got me spinning. Appreciate you. Hey, another big thing for next baseball season that, again, snaps to our now family at Major League Baseball because their formula just works. ABS is coming. And all of us are just like, okay, Like, it's been kind of built up for us. We've seen it in spring training. We wanted it at points next year. That one of the a massive rule change is coming, and everyone's just like, all right, let's get.
Like, it's not being, like, hyped up.
We're challenging balls and strikes in baseball. 2026, here we come. 16 days left. David, happy first day of Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I've been waiting all day.
Sorry for not getting that in earlier.
Like, on that, like, remember when pitch clock came and, like, I know timelines were different, but, like, those first spring training games were crazy. And I know we got the taster during spring training, but, like, when it was like, this is happening, people were talking about it a lot. And maybe as we get closer, people will be really hyping it up again.
Yeah, it'll spark back up. But I think that was more so, there was such a core belief in baseball and even the corny line of the only game without a clock that I think people were like, that was more
different.
That was more attacking baseball's core, where this is like, hey, we can get a right call wrong. And we've seen challenges in basketball and football like that. We've seen it in baseball now. It's just we're moving it to pitches. We're gonna have to get comfortable with the system. Again, each player zone is their zone. It's from where they get measured at spring training. It's going to be interesting to see how players, hitters, catchers can all manipulate it as we go. And that's where I've kind of been, and it's a cop-out answer, like, let me see the system. The one thing I did throw out when we went to MLB and we were talking to some of the rules people, a la football, like, at first, like, you're going to get 2 challenges. If you get them right, you keep them. So, you can keep rolling. Off the record, Jimmy is excited for the first ump that's having a bad day. Because there's some days when umps just aren't seeing the zone. We've all seen the umpire scorecard pop up, and it's like, oh, he missed 20 pitches. They were all the outside of the zone because he stands on the inside of the zone. There's going to be an umpire that gets the business one day. And probably a breakdown and probably a lot of internet fodder about it. For me, I guess the evolution of it as we become more comfortable with it, I wonder if we end up seeing how football has their challenges, but in the last 2 minutes, they take everything into their own hands. By the way, football also, they've taken everything into their own hands. Like, how many times do you see a play on the field now where they're like, oh, yeah, they chimed in from upstairs that he was 2 yards further? Like, they just do that now.
Oh, they want to look at it. Yeah.
And like sometimes it's just quick. That's pretty impressive leap by the NFL. That I'm wondering, will we get so at grips with ABS that maybe it's just constant, or where I originally jumped is there ever going to be a 9th inning rule or an 8th inning rule where we just, I don't know about unlimited appeals, but if they get, the whole point is to get it right. So, like, if we get something wrong, and then are you valuing the 9th inning more than the 8th inning? So that's where baseball starts to get a little tricky, where we just want to get the call right. So as long as we end up liking this zone, I mean, I was always and still am someone that's like, yeah, we need the umpire out there. I don't know. If we all get used to it and it gets the calls right, isn't that what we want? So let's see where that evolves. I think where most of the baseball, I don't want to say nerds, but nerds are excited, it's to see how each team handles it. Are some teams going to have rules that you can't use it until the 7th inning? Are we going to have some teams that only certain players can use it? If you are the 9-hole hitter and Aaron Judge is on your team, do you really want to be potentially losing one of your challenges on a borderline pitch?
You better be right.
You better be right. That's where it's going to be very interesting to see how each team has it. The other level that Jimmy likes going to is like, hey, we have umpire stats that if you have Alan Porter and he never misses on the inside corner of the plate, our team's going to look at like that. Like, hey, you guys can't challenge Alan Porter inside calls. You can challenge him away. Going to be very interesting to see how teams do that. You also wonder, I remember one of the first Yankees spring training games last year, Jazz Chisholm was leading off. First pitch of the game, it just got missed, and he challenged it, and they changed it. That, like, our team's going to allow that. Like, the you better be right rule. You better be right rule. So that is going to be one of the more fun things to monitor coming up. Let's see. Any of the quotes good? Abernaz, Stammen, and McCullough commenting. There's Blake Butera. And yeah, he's been at AAA where they've had this. So again, that's the other thing. A lot of the young players are comfortable with this. They've seen it and played with it. But yeah, Blake Butera said it's funny that, now the trash talk around it has changed. Like, you can kind of talk about challenging it. Are you going to challenge that one or stuff like that? I don't know. That's more so clubhouse stuff. Terry Francona, notable old. Last spring, I didn't want to do it because we weren't going to use it. And then the guys from the league asked me. They were actually great about it. Wish I could do a Terry Francona voice, but that's what Chris Rose is for. They go, can you please just do it? Okay. Actually didn't mind it. I thought it was okay, and I thought the fans loved it. Didn't stop the game much. Everybody waited for the scoreboard. I think it'll be okay. Look at Terry Francona.
It's Tito.
Does it get any better? Next, what was your biggest takeaway from this year's thrilling MLB postseason? Kind of an interesting question. Rob Thompson, Topper, your Philadelphia Phillies, how competitive it was. Even our series where we got beat was really tight. Ryan Kirkering. That was tough. Let's see, not too much else there. Oliver Marmol. I call him Ollie. It was one of the most exciting playoffs I've seen in a while. It was a vibrant, fun environment. You wanted to watch the games. There was an electricity to it. Again, what was your biggest takeaway from this year's thrilling MLB postseason? I guess I was kind of hoping it was going to be more baseball, like, ooh, Toronto's contact is going to change the game, or you need a starting pitcher in the bullpen. Murphy, it's not like the regular season. Every pitch counts, all hands on deck. The most important inning is this inning. I like that. I like that.
That's a good one.
That's good.
That could come up on next year's streams.
That's good. The most important inning is this inning. Write that down. It's awesome. Couldn't get enough. You'd better have the stamina. You better have the stamina. Wow. Okay. Let's relive Pat Murphy's last three sentences in there. The most important inning is this inning. Bang. New company mantra. We're all in. And again, I'm now reading this verbatim, or what I've been told is verbatim. It's awesome. Couldn't get enough. You'd better have the stamina. You'd better have the stamina. Wow. It's an interesting line to repeat. But that's why he's Pat Murphy and I'm not. Craig Albernaz. It was awesome. Just straight baseball. Craig.
It's a wordsmith, that Craig.
We're trying to... You and Trevor Plouffe played in the minors together. I need a little more sauce than that. Maybe we've got more coming up. And which opposing hitter would you least like to see up with the game online? And it's brought to you by our friends at Shopify. And it's true. From day one of the company to day whatever now, we've been with Shopify throughout the whole deal. From having 2 shirts on the store to however many shirts we have now with our new Slashline site. We knew we had to up our website game, so we talked to the good people at Shopify. We told them what we wanted. They brought the execution. So make sure you go check out the new Slashline site from John Boy Media. And Shopify, if you're looking to get started, their Sidekick, Shopify Magic, and the suite of AI tools, game changers. They will help you manage your business. You'll have your own AI assistant guiding you to bring your company to the next level. So if you want to be like us and start building your brand from the ground up, It's time to go over to Shopify. Start your trial today. Click that link, shopify.com/talkin, if you're ready to leave the amateurs and head over to the big leagues. Okay, Warren Schaefer, reminder, your Rockies manager. He said Shohei, which was just a flashback to remember early on in the postseason. Shohei was getting intentionally walked, but he wasn't hitting well. And we were all like, I don't know. I even talked about, like, do we need to start talking about Shohei's postseason stats? He changed the tenor there. He's pretty good. Skip Schumacher, your Texas Rangers manager. Do you remember? That's new. I'm going to say Freddie Freeman hits righties, hits lefties, stays inside the ball. He's a hitter, uses the whole field, swings at the right pitches. He'll take his walk. So you're not going to get him swinging outside the zone. He knows where the zone is, doesn't try to do too much. He's going to put it in play. Obviously, Ohtani is the better hitter, but I don't want to see Freddie. How do you like that? Nice answer by Skip. Kind of touched upon everything. And this is, I've talked about it a little bit that I think Freddie has been my best all-around hitter for at least a while. I think now it's a little more debatable as he's starting to get up there in years. But for everything Skip just said, Freddie's got a little bit take what they give you, whether that's out of the park or in the park, if it's away, if it's up and in. Like, he can do all of it that, even big Aaron Judge, besides being the best hitter ever, he can be susceptible to the strikeout. That it just turns into baseball math. That, like, I don't know, if you can get ahead of Judge 1-2 or 0-2, you can bang your best breaking ball and you might have a chance. Or maybe he's sitting on the break. Like, obviously count leverage matters for everyone. That Freddie, it just feels like you're never out of it. Even if it's 0-2, it just feels like he's driving the bus. That I was interested to see, then there was 3 answers for Freddie Freeman going into the 26th season. Pat Murphy, Freeman has dominated us for years with the game on the line. Torey Lovello, Freddie's going to be able to understand the pitcher to adjust his approach. He's going to put the ball in play. You need a double, he's going to hit a double. You need a single, he's going to find a way to get on base. It kind of sums it up, right? And it kind of makes me feel a little validated because obviously year in, year out numbers, you're going to see some Freddie's, Judges, Soto, Acuna. And again, these are limited, I think we've got 6 manager answers here, so maybe they left stuff out for other reasons. I don't know. But to see Freddie for 3 answers when your knee-jerk reaction isn't to say Freddie Freeman's the best hitter in the game, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Corey Seager, not mentioned, but just go check out his stats when you get a second. McCullough said Kyle Schwarber. Interesting angle to come at. He said he hammers velocity. He's so much better left versus left, so that's not a strength for you. And I did like the line, I feel like the field has just gotten too small when he's up. It does feel that way. It sure does. Craig Stammen said Mookie Betts because he said when I was a pitcher. It's like, all right, Craig, we know. All right, you don't have to rub it in. Okay. Good for Mookie. A little bounce back season for Mook. Doesn't lose 20 pounds right before the season starts this year. I could see that being a good thing for him. 20 pounds. Mookie's skinny.
Didn't know he had 20 pounds to lose. Could be interested in his overs.
I like that. Easy angle to take. Which pitcher not on your team would you most like to hand the ball to with the season on the line? Pretty funny. There are 2 clear. When you're talking starting pitching in baseball, there are 2 names that come up. It's Skeens and Skubal. Ska bands. And to pick between them is silly. If you're being honest. One's righty, one's lefty. They both can be impossibly gross with how they pitch. super dominant. Stammen said both. Lavello, Skeen, Shoemaker, Skubal. Will be Pat Murphy and Warren Schaefer, who's all I talk about these days. Logan Webb mentioned, which it is just a reminder. If you go and look at some Logan Webb statistics, 200 plus innings the last 3 years, which, God, that's so impressive. Led the NL in strikeouts last year. Logan Webb, that I feel like used to get knocked because he didn't strike out guys. Hey, the innings helped, but the innings helped. And he's been the innings. I just repeated myself. Is that what Pat Murphy did when he had his kind of H'd up line about baseball? Logan Webb has been Cy Young 6 or better the past 3 years. Takes the ball, and like, it's, as a baseball fan, and maybe some of you won't like this because you could be like, Jake, this is your job, dude. Like, how many full Logan Webb starts am I watching? I'd like to get 1 or 2 a year. Like, if I'm just being real with you.
Hope it's the good ones.
Flip over MLB Network, and they've got the Giants game, and I'm not that sleepy yet. Like, is he pitching against the Yankees that year? It's the baseball fan conundrum that I'm pretty deep in it, and I am working on a 2 TV setup. We'll see. I've been looking at those painting TVs.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. They're a little expensive. And then kind of the weird thing for me is, like, the artwork that's on those painting TVs is not artwork that I would have.
You would kind of never have it as just the art version.
Like, I'm too old to just have 2 TVs just in an apartment. It's a lot.
Yeah. If you had, like, a full house and we're doing, like, a Chris Rose room.
Right.
Like, that's weirdly more acceptable.
Yeah, it just makes it cleaner. And then, yeah, you can always go phone or iPad or something, but there's something to 2 things on a wall. You just have to look. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still flip-flopping on it. Could I see it happening before the season if I see the right deal? Yeah. And just a fun concept as a society. Like, hey, hide your TV with art. I don't know. How often would I do it? I don't know. Would it probably help my career? Probably.
Even to just have MLB TV mute.
Just up. Watch a couple swings. Whatever. That's what's been going on in my head. You're welcome. Back to the article. But yeah, the other name mentioned, McCullough, Christopher Sanchez. Okay. He's really good. No notes. Who is the best manager in MLB right now other than yourself? Pat Murphy. Other than myself, I'm not even in the top 28. I'm not in the top 29. But I just know Craig Counsell better than anybody, and I know how great he is. So look at that. His former skip now manages the rival team, gives him love. Not in the top 29 managers. Come on, Pat. What's that? At a certain point, that's not self-deprecating. I guess at a certain point, that's almost rude to yourself.
Like, at some point, he's going to have to negotiate a next contract.
Yeah, that's like permissible to be fired. I'm the worst at my job? I get it.
Hey, I appreciate humility. I appreciate self-deprecation.
But that's, we can tighten that up. Lavello also said Counsell. Thoughtful, there's a reason for everything, process-oriented, knack for understanding what's going to happen. I think projection in this game is a massive factor. Agree. AJ Hinch from Schaefer. AJ from Schumacher until the World Series, where he said Doc put on a show. And he did. I remember watching the World Series, and Dave Roberts, bullpen-wise, seeming like he was always pushing the button. Couple lineup tweaks. Like, Dave Roberts had an amazing postseason. The final plays, Andy Pajes in center. Like, every button that Dave Roberts, future Hall of Famer, by the way, pushed worked. That it's cool he's getting respected that way, because I'll also hand up myself again that I was like, Dodgers seem really good, and they haven't been winning a ton. You pointed Dave Roberts. They've won the last 2. He's a pretty cool guy. McCullough and Stammen also said Dave Roberts. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we all can kind of roll our eyes and do a lot of people could manage that Dodgers team. You're probably right, but they've also just won back-to-back titles. So, and last postseason, man, he was on it. So that was your manager surveys with a few anecdotes in there. Our visit to MLB. Again, me and Ali Marmal are, I don't want to say brothers, but family. Debated asking Katie Woo for his number. And that's a text you don't want to send. Because she could say no, and she'd be right.
Like, arguably should say no.
That's not a number she should be handing out. But also, I had a nice time. So, I don't know. Daniel Descalso liked something on my Instagram the other day. We're working on it. Let's do a little football, because I got a little football after my haircut with Andrew Zumbo, my hairstylist. I was excited to check in on this football Sunday. I kind of got back after the haircut at 3, so I don't have a ton of the first halves of games. But I have the finishes, and at 1 o'clock, there was 2 that everyone was watching. Chargers, Chiefs, and Bills, Patriots. And football is brought to you by DraftKings, obviously. Go place a bet. Or go check out the DraftKings Casino, because you can get in on the action. I don't even have to tell you. At the DraftKings Casino, when that 6+ chili scatters hit, it triggers the cash eruption bonus. Hello. Watch the reels, lock in for fire respins and jackpot wins. New players, $5, get 500 spins over 10 days on cash eruption games. Sign up today using promo code JAMSPORTS so they know we sent you. DK Casino, safe, secure, and reliable. So the 1 p.m.ers, besides Giants Commanders, little snow on the field. Let's go, boys. Patriots, Bills, Chargers, Chiefs. A mini pat on the back that I also partially stole from Simmons, but the Bills and Josh Allen, I think Rosillo had a guest on that was saying this. Josh Allen back in the NFL MVP race. The Bills, after going down 21-0, come back to win 35-31. Travion Henderson looking like a cheat code for the Pats. But the Bills are back in this, and there's been this whole swirl of like, wait, no Burrow. Lamar? Maybe, maybe not. No Mahomes for sure on both fronts. The Chiefs eliminated, and he goes down. With the ACL or Achilles. I always mix those 2 up. Never have it. The Chiefs and Chargers were in a tight one. Chargers go to 10-4, winning 16-3 in an ugly one against the Chiefs. Like I said, Mahomes gets hurt at the end there, so he'll be done for the season. We'll check out the timelines coming up on next season. The Bills. Bills are kind of back. 35-31. They beat New England. That AFC playoff picture that everyone's just talking about wide open. At the end of the day, a lot of people, you get to point to Josh Allen and how much of just a monster he is. And maybe this can bring the Bills, because there was a little while there that they weren't feeling like the Buffalo Bills. I think they have won 6 of their last 8. Losses to the Dolphins in Miami. Not great. Not what you want. Lost to the Texans, who they are the other team that everyone is just getting jazzed up about with the kind of football they are playing, especially on the defensive side. I think the Texans, fun fact, is they've only given up over 20 points twice. Let's double check that. They gave up 27 to the Seahawks. and then they gave up 29 to the Jaguars in a game they won. So football gets into units a lot, whether you're betting, or just like your offensive unit, your defensive unit, your special teams. The Texans' defensive unit probably has an argument for the best unit in football. That come playoff time, with a little Carey, a little Stroud here, a little Nico Collins, a little Woody Marks. Houston is 9-5, turning some heads. Can they catch Jacksonville for the division? Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, 5 touchdown passes against the Jets, which New York football, baby. Ride the wave. What else do I need from the 1 p.m.s? Not really. Ravens shut out the Bengals. And hey, Joe Burrow down 24-0 was out there with 3 minutes left. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. The game is over. Like, Joe Burrow now has like a history. We can't. I don't know. It blows my mind. Bears routed the Browns. They're 10-4. Snaps for my guy Caleb. Eagles, Raiders, no. What else needs to be talked about? The 4 p.m. So the Rams and the Lions. Trevor Plouffe in the building for the game. Important. Rams go to 11-3. They clinch. Lions defense just is not what it was, whether that's Aaron Glenn, whether that's injuries, whether that is what it is, that the Lions are 8-6, currently out of the playoff picture. This was supposed to be a big year for them. Instead, it's looking like a big year for the Rams and Stafford. Stafford with a chance to win MVP. Their young defense is really fun to watch, and they can put the clamps on you, or they can win a shootout. Puka 9 for 181. Kyron and Corum running the ball, looking really good. McVay as a head coach, as respected as it gets. The Rams kind of looking like the favorite in the NFL. Trevor's friends with the quarterback who might win MVP. Kind of cool. Panthers Saints, definitely not. Although there was some divisional stuff there, especially at the end of that game, that late hit. 49ers Titans, no. Titans bad. Okay, I might have gotten the 2 football games that I've gotten the most pleasure out of in a long time. One that makes sense. My Denver Broncos. I'll remind you guys that I've been in a weird spot with my Denver Broncos. Grew up with them. Wore Terrell Davis jersey in every middle school picture. Like Broncos, John Elway, TD, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, Sharp, Atwater. They were just fun teams. The uniforms were cool. I thought Mile High was cool. I didn't even really get it. But I was in. They were my oddball. Been in on the Broncos. They were a well-run franchise. You remember when the Giants game came up, I was kind of like, I don't know. I thought about jokingly putting my fandom on the line. By the way, it was one of the crazier games of the year. Remember that? Broncos, Giants, both just going back and forth at the end. Denver scored 33 points in the fourth quarter after not scoring the first 3. That I almost put my fandom on the line that game because I was like, I don't know, Dart Scattaboo. It's a little more local. I don't get a lot of Broncos love around here. I'm in a weird spot with it. Broncos won that game. By the way, the Broncos went to 5-2 that day. The Giants went to 2-5. The Giants are now 2-12. And Justin Pennick from Talkin Giants is begging them to fire their GM, which Justin Pennick doesn't want to do that. Justin Pennick doesn't want to do that. He just believes that's right. And my Broncos played the Packers. Always an iconic game for me. Feels like these teams have linked up for some big ones. One of the NFC favorites this year in the Packers, one of the AFC favorites in the Broncos this year. Go back to the iconic, I think it was the 98 Super Bowl where they linked up. The Packers were big favorites. Broncos ran it down their throats. Got to watch a lot of this game. It was easily the best I've seen Bo Nix play. Because, Bo Nix has had some good games, especially like completion-wise, and with his legs. Like, he's athletic. And, some of the completion stuff, again, it's kind of the line between Sean Payton and Bo Nix and getting the ball out quick and whatever. You don't want to knock it. Like, you want more completions. But I don't know. Bo has had some struggles with the deep ball. And then it's a little bit of okay, well, if it's not there, then what's happening? Bo Nix, looked extremely athletic. The way he was moving around and making plays was very impressive. Extending plays. There was a couple that he extended the play on that you were like, okay, hey, good job extending the play. Now throw the ball away. Threw it in the field of play and got some big gainers out of it. That was very impressive. The play that Micah Parsons got hurt on, and it sucks that Micah Parsons got hurt, obviously, but how do I say this tastefully? Bo Nix was making an incredible play. So many quarterbacks, if they ended up in that position with Micah Parsons, are just taking the sack or just praying and hoping it doesn't get intercepted. Bo spins out of it. Micah Parsons, arguably the best defender in the National Football League, is right there. Throws it right by his ear hole, completes the pass. Different arm angles on a lot of throws to make the play. He was hyper confident against a very good football team. He made all of the throws, whether it's in the pocket or out of the pocket, using his legs. It's the best I've seen Bo Nix look. There was a lot of advanced stats that said this was his best or second best game ever. But it was against a really good football team. That what was the 9-3-1 Packers are now 9-4-1. That I'm going all in. We're undefeated at home, 7-0 at home. Bo Nix showed me what I was looking for. I like Harvey. I like Cortland Sutton. That what Bo Nix showed me, man, that was really cool. Swaggy postgame presser, 4 touchdown passes. Let's do this damn thing. Screw it. I'm all in. He looked awesome. The defense is awesome. That maybe I should have been giving PS2 more love along the way. He has an argument for best defensive player in the league, or best defensive back. That I had a blast watching my Broncos. Again, maybe that's on me a little bit. But watching them versus the Packers, the back-and-forth nature early, them putting the clamps on late and winning the game, it was a beautiful fan experience. Orange Crush, let's do it. I'm in. I'm in for Broncos football. Jags next week. Let's go. Let's have a day. The other game that had me enjoying football a lot more than I have in a while, the Colts versus the Seahawks. Phillip Rivers back. 45 years old. People, if you're one of the younger listeners of this show, I thank you. And I'm here to tell you, as all the olds told me, and I ignored them before, and I get it, I'm not that old, I look great right now. I look 27, 28, clean shave, fresh haircut from Andrew Zumbo. Got this jacket before the holiday season. It's working, people. I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry.
The offense is clicking right now for me. 45 to be on a football field is nuts. Quarterbacks are one of the sneakier nuts people on a football field because they have the opportunity to get hit by these superhuman people, and they are not superhuman. They have a good arm. Some of them are superhuman. Josh Allen, old Big Ben, like size-wise. Lamar, like some of these guys have superhuman traits. Look at a linebacker. Look at a defensive end. Look at a safety. These guys are built entirely. Look at a defensive tackle. Next time you see a defensive tackle sack a quarterback, look at those two humans. Phillip Rivers at age 45 was back out on the football, people. One, they put up his record with the Colts in 2020. I think it was 11-5. I was like, okay, I didn't remember that, Phil. Good for you, dog.
Yeah, 1 year.
Also, that was 5 years ago. 2020. Like the first couple times they put that up, I was cracking up. Like that's 5 years ago. Imagine if any current active NFL quarterback, if they just randomly put up his stats from 5 years ago. Oh, look at this. It's crazy. He looked bulky. His pads were massive. And he went out there and he gave them a drive to get a long field goal. The Seahawks answered back. And yeah, I mean, there was internet jokes galore. Phillip Rivers with the ball with 2 minutes left in the 4 p.m. slate. Them kind of blowing it, which how many Chargers games felt like it ended like that. I don't know, man. I know he was old dogging it. I think he hurt his shoulder at one point. He was getting looked at by the trainer. Can't get the arm up there too high anyways. Never did, but it's not getting any higher. That he was just out there dogging it. His post-game presser was pretty cool. Just talking about doubt and also not needing to do it. And he was like, that would have been the easy answer. Getting to watch Phillip Rivers on another NFL Sunday, I mean, it kind of brought me back to before COVID. Like, literally.
Kind of literally.
Like, literally. It was like, I'm watching Phillip Rivers on a Sunday. That it was fun. It's a bummer they lost. No knock on the Seahawks. I will say, with how good kickers are, and I realize offense and game-changing plays and all of that, I get it. Like, it helps the sport. Darnold completed 2 passes for 25 yards. And they kicked the game-winning field goal. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about it. I tweeted about it, and a lot of people had thoughtful replies. One person said, raise the field goal post bottom up. I don't know. The fact someone's thinking about that, great. I had never thought about that.
More interested in that than a lot of the other rules I see people trying to think of to fix it.
Kickers are just great right now. Like, they've leveled up as a society. Like, if someone made a 50-plus yarder 10, 15 years ago, it was like, damn.
Ooh, he got one.
All right. Now it's not there. It's 60 that, like, 57 goes through and you're just like, yeah, good kick. That with the starting field position, with the kickoff, again, I think in their heart of hearts, NFL doesn't really care because this led to 2 dramatic field goals instead of 1. But I don't know. Something just felt a little icky about it. No offense to the Seahawks, who are 11-3 and could potentially be the 1 seed in the NFC in a good football team. But I don't know. I just had a blast watching Phillip Rivers. Wasn't the prettiest of football. 45, like, I'm not even there. I'm 36. And the amount of respect I have for that now will change more in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years.
It's grandpa.
It's a little nuts. I mean, and again, it's a feeling. There's people in our office who are 22 that, like, having a conversation just isn't natural with. They're like, imagine Phillip Rivers. He's 45 with 22-year-old wide receivers.
Not a surprise, but they did during this show announce he will be getting the Monday night start next week. So
buckle up.
Get the big screen to himself against San Francisco.
Buckle up.
I'll be watching.
Vikings, Cowboys, 9. J.J. McCarthy looked good. The Cowboys have done that to a few quarterbacks, though. I don't know. There's a world where I could like who J.J. McCarthy is. The injury part sucks. I mean, the performance has been really bad around a couple turns. He hasn't played a lot of NFL football. He does some stuff that feels a little hardo, if we're just being honest. I mean, calling himself 9. But then you just find yourself in that weird spot where it starts with performance. Like, that's just the truth of it with sports. And then from there, you start computing all the other math. They're like, even, I saw him, I think they were doing one of the giant American flags before the game, and he, like, high-fived all the first responders. And, like, that is nice. That is a cool thing to do. He's the starting quarterback before the game. No one would blame him if he didn't do that. But because you have this, like, 9 or, you know, he might be bad. Like, you kind of get in your own head about it, and you're like, I don't know about this guy. And, like, who cares? Like, he's been a star all the way up until this point. He's running into struggles that maybe it's all going to come together. They've won the past 2 games. They put up 30 points the last 2 weeks. They're playing the Giants next week, so maybe they win that. And, yeah, he's got a little swag to him. Like, McCarthy has a little Joe Burrow energy. He's just been bad. That, like, let's see the next steps with it. Enjoyed watching football, especially Phillip Rivers. Just respect for the olds. And my Broncos, who I've been lost on the ride. I'm fully on the ride. Hey, I don't need to be near the front of the bandwagon. I get it. But what Bo Nix showed me, he was a gamer. Between the arm angles and figuring it out, I'm there. So, little Monday up for you guys. We appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed and all that fun stuff. We will be back Wednesday. We love you. We'll see you soon.